if I want to buy her jewelry, if I want her to feel special all the time, if I'm in love with a woman, I think that is her fault.
It began with anticipation. A devoted Sister Wives fan stumbled upon a rare charm bracelet listed on the My Sister Wives Closet website limited edition, only 3 left, for over 10 years. She'd been watching, invested in Robyn's every turn. Buying it felt personal, like holding a fragment of their world, so she clicked. $217 vanished in an instant. The confirmation email arrived swiftly, cheerful and warm, promising shipping updates soon. But then silence, days stretched into weeks, the tracking never moved, the replies vanished. And the bracelet, still missing, what started as a sentimental connection slowly unraveled into something that felt far more hollow.
It feels like everything's just sort of falling apart, and I'm trying so hard to remain hopeful.
What began as a small, joyful indulgence soon spiraled into a waking nightmare. And she wasn't the only one. Reddit lit up, Facebook threads exploded. TikTok videos went viral with the same haunting refrain, angry customers stepping forward. One after another, dozens, maybe hundreds, telling near-identical stories they paid in good faith. Got a bubbly confirmation email, and then nothing, no tracking, no shipping, no refunds. Yet the My Sister Wife's Closet website still live. Still taking payments, still showing items as in stock. Like a storefront frozen in time while the trust quietly crumbles beneath it.
I felt safe. She felt safe with me. She's just an open book to me.
But according to frustrated fans, this so-called boutique isn't shipping anything. Not a single charm, and what's worse, there's no customer service number, no chat window. No updates from Robyn, nothing, just the sound of customers screaming into a void, while that checkout button keeps calmly collecting credit card numbers like nothing's wrong. And it gets worse. Some of these orders, they're not new. One woman said she placed hers back in early March and she's still waiting. Another hoped her package would arrive in time for her daughter's graduation in May. Instead, she got a vague automated reply, due to high demand, shipments may be delayed. That was the last she ever heard. The city allegedly operated under Robyn's name, or her look stayed eerily quiet. No public statement, no timeline, no explanation. And now, fans are starting to ask, is this just sloppy business or something far more calculated? Because things begin to feel off here, really off. Some users who sent multiple emails say they were blocked entirely. Others tried messaging through TLC. Some even reached out through Robyn's Cameo account. Still, no answers. And worse, some emails bounced back, labeled undeliverable after a third attempt. It's as if the site is built to accept your money, but not your voice, and once your card clears, you disappear into silence, a vanishing customer in a vanishing store.
My mind is going, please help her to see what value I am to this family.
For longtime viewers, this hits deep. It's a betrayal wrapped in silence. Robyn once painted herself as the visionary, business-savvy, artistic, the thoughtful bonus mom with a plan. My Sister Wife's Closet wasn't just a side hustle. It was her baby, her shot at life beyond the cameras. But now, that dream looks hollow. A site still open for business, with no business happening behind the scenes. Just a glowing add to cart button and an echo chamber of unfulfilled promises. And fans? They're past disappointment, they're furious. Words like scam, fraud, even theft are flying fast, and disturbingly might not be exaggerating. Because as more customers begin comparing notes, digging up receipts, capturing screenshots, a chilling pattern is starting to emerge. One that feels far too organized to be just a glitch. That's when the tone shifted. It wasn't just about lost jewelry anymore, it became something darker. This wasn't how the story was supposed to unfold when My Sister Wife's Closet first launched. It was sold as a passion project. Robyn's big leap into business rooted in her love for meaningful jewelry, built on the idea of empowering women through story-driven design. Fans still remember that TLC promo warm lights. Robyn at a wooden desk, sketching charms with care while Cody looked on, proud and beaming. Back then, the brand felt like more than merchandise. It felt like connection, like trust, like something you could hold in your hand and believe in. It wasn't just merchandise, it was family, legacy, a sense of belonging. At least, that's how they sold it. The store launched back in 2012. With all the polish of a serious business and official LLC. Big promotional rollouts, glossy graphics, the tagline, Pure Sister Wives PR, our family, our story, our closet. And it was obvious who was in charge, Robyn. She was the heartbeat of the brand. The one guiding it from concept to creation. She spoke often and emotionally about how much this business meant to her, how it wasn't just a shop, it was her contribution to the family's legacy. Her way of helping them build something lasting, something that could survive beyond the spotlight. Fans remember her crying on camera over certain designs. like the forever pendant rooted in spiritual meaning or the unity charm, symbolizing the tangled but powerful bonds between sister wives. It all felt so sincere, so personal. But behind the velvet packaging and carefully worded mission statements, things weren't quite as seamless as they looked. Inventory was erratic, shipping timelines kept stretching. Items were often out of stock, customer service unpredictable. Some fans had decent experiences, others were left hanging, but still, the loyalty stayed strong. Fans gave her the benefit of the doubt because this wasn't some corporate juggernaut, this was Robyn. She was doing her best, right? Fast forward a few years and those early cracks began to split wide open. Production issues were first chalked up to COVID, then it was the supply chain later. Hushed whispers floated around blaming internal drama within the family. When Christine left in 2021, some even suggested it threw off the entire creative flow, but through all of it, the breakups, the show's implosions, the emotional reckonings, the website, it never shut down. That's what stings the most, because even with dead social media accounts, a blog that hadn't seen a post in years, and complete silence from Robyn's end, the store kept going. Quietly, invisibly, taking orders. The front door looked locked, but the register still ringing. Fans are now discovering it may never have stopped taking money, not during lockdowns, not during the show's most chaotic years. One Reddit user, sharp-eyed and curious, posted a recent test run screenshots and all. They added an item to the cart, entered a card number, clicked purchase. Boom. Receipt generated. Thank you email sent. No inventory, no shipment, no update. Just the hum of a ghost shop. Still live, still hungry. And now, even the most loyal fans are asking the hard question, was my sister wife's closet ever really about jewelry? Or was it something else, a beautiful illusion, a symbol not of connection, bit of control? A boutique built on sentiment but hollow underneath, and the deeper they look, the more it feels like this wasn't a business, it was a mirage, and they were the ones who paid to believe in it. And if you think that's where the trail goes cold, think again, because now, insiders are stepping forward and they're not mincing words. It began like a whisper. A quiet message tucked into a private Facebook group, a direct DM in a sister wives fan forum, then an anonymous email tip sent to a blogger known for exposing TLC star side hustles. The message wasn't long, but it landed like a thunderclap. Robyn knows there's no inventory. Orders are being processed anyway. She's not stopping it. That was the first domino. Within days, whispers turned into full-blown allegations, and now, several supposed former helpers are stepping into the light, offering what they claim is the truth behind my sister wife's closet. And if their accounts are to be believed, the reality is far darker than anyone imagined. According to self-identified source, both claiming to have worked behind the scenes, there hasn't been any real inventory since late 2022. Nothing, shelves empty, storage bins collecting dust, one alleged former contractor said. I was brought in to do basic updates and flag inventory mismatches, and I kept finding products listed as in stock that physically didn't exist. I raised it more than once and was told, just leave it, it's complicated. Let that sink in. The clear implication? Orders were being accepted, gnawing nothing to send in return. Another insider claimed the entire system was practically running itself on autopilot. A creaky, outdated inventory plugin managing the listings, according to them. Robyn refused to disable it. She believed, or perhaps just hoped, things would turn around soon. But when she was asked about the growing list of refund requests and complaints, the insider said Robyn would simply sigh and say, I'll pray on it. That's not exactly the response you'd expect from someone running a business. It's not strategy. It's not accountability. It's deflection. And if these accounts are accurate, no one, not a single person, was actively managing customer service. Emails went unanswered, buyers left in the dark, complaints swallowed into the void. But the most damning piece, one insider made a chilling claim. They said Robyn was explicitly told she could turn off the checkout system, that she could pause purchases until inventory was realigned, and her answer, no. She said it would send the wrong message, the insider recalled. She thought people would think she was giving up. But here's the truth, she hadn't reordered stock in months. She hadn't restocked anything at all. Those orders, they were never going to be fulfilled. And she knew it. One insider even alleged witnessing Robyn manually switch a product back to available status, despite no new shipments having arrived right after an episode aired that featured the piece on screen. It was a promotional move, according to them. She wanted to ride the buzz, but there was nothing in stock. I'm telling you, there was nothing. If that claim holds water, it suggests Robyn may have intentionally exploited on-screen attention to promote jewelry she knew she couldn't actually send. That's not just careless, it could legally cross into consumer fraud, unsurprisingly. Robyn has stayed silent, no press release, no denial. Not even a cryptic Instagram post about growth or weathering storms, but fans are putting the puzzle together themselves, and the picture they're forming is damning. Someone had to know those products weren't real. Someone had to hit accept on those payments. And all signs point to Robyn, but it wasn't until the evidence began flooding social media that the storm went public. One viral Facebook post lit the match. A furious buyer shared her experience. She'd ordered a delicate silver pendant for her sister's birthday, but 2 months had passed without a word. She uploaded everything: confirmation email, multiple follow-ups, and then a final demand: please refund me immediately or I'll file a chargeback. Beneath it, in stark red text, the email reply: address not found, within a day. The post had 8,000 plus shares. Comments poured in like a flood of betrayed hearts. Been waiting since February, one person wrote. I thought it was just me. Another said, bought a necklace for my daughter. I feel so stupid now. And that's when the floodgates burst. On Reddit, a user compiled 40 plus screenshots from other customers. Several had emailed 5 or 6 times with no reply. One said her third email bounced, only then realizing she'd been blocked. Others got nothing, no tracking number, no updates. Not even the ones automated were processing your order response. Every story was slightly different, but the gut punch of betrayal was the same. Over the years, all Robyn managed to do was burn more goodwill and more money. One elderly grandmother had ordered a bracelet for her granddaughter's wedding. They used to watch the show together every Sunday. That order, placed in March, still no delivery. No explanation. Then there was the military wife who'd saved for weeks to buy matching charms for herself and her deployed husband. The surprise she'd planned never came. No tracking, no contact. Just silence. She wasn't the only one asking, who does this? To their fans, the anger grew, and when fans started comparing timestamps, the realization hit hard. Orders had been quietly going through for months, even while Robyn made it seem like the site was dormant. Some believed it was just a forgotten system left running, but others weren't so sure. It felt calculated. You don't just forget. 200 orders, one Redditor said. She knew. Soon the hashtag started trending. Hashtag sister scam. Hashtag ClosetGate. Hashtag where is my jewelry? TikTok creators jumped in, some furious, some tearful, tagging TLC and Discovery Plus in every clip. One woman recounted how she'd spent her birthday money on a necklace she never received. Another said she'd defended Robyn for years only to feel like a fool now. These weren't just refunds gone wrong, these were people who trusted her. Robyn had always been the gentle one, the soft-spoken artist, the romantic. The only wife who believed in love, as she once told fans. But that image, cracking fast. And as if that weren't enough, a new ripple formed, because now the other wives were being dragged in, too. Chanel never signed up for this, neither did Christine. But Robyn's mess was starting to wash up on everyone's doorstep. Social media accounts for all the wives were flooded with comments. Chanel, please help. One woman wrote beneath a picture of her grandkids, I love you, but your family stole from me. Christine's inbox reportedly overflowed with refund requests, even though she hasn't had anything to do with the business for years. One of her fan pages tried to explain she left the company when she divorced Cody, but the damage was already done. To the fans, the Browns are still a unit, and Robyn's fallout is bleeding into every corner of the family. Names insiders say both Chanel and Christine were completely blindsided. A source close to the situation claimed they had no idea. Orders were still being processed. Allegedly, Christine was furious. She thought the business was long dead. She told friends she walked away from it years ago, now being dragged back into the scandal. Infuriating, the source said. And then there's Mary, the one wife who might have known something was still off. She hasn't spoken publicly about the shop in ages, but whispers suggest she forwarded at least one complaint to Robyn months ago after a desperate email landed in her business inbox, according to the rumor. Robyn didn't respond to Mary either. One insider says she's kept uncomfortably quiet, like she's trying to wipe her hands clean before the mess even hits the fan. With her solo projects blooming and distance growing between her and the rest of the Browns, Robyn seems determined to stay out of the blast zone, but staying silent doesn't shield you anymore. Not when fans are banging down the door for answers. Behind the scenes, tension is boiling hotter than anyone at TLC is willing to admit. Sure, the recent seasons have been sold as healing journeys and mutual goodbyes. But this jewelry disaster, it's dragging buried resentments right back into the spotlight. Christine, the face of independence and rebirth, is said to be livid, publicly embarrassed to be linked at all. And Janelle, she's walking a tightrope, still financially connected to the family and co-parenting with Cody. She's reportedly weighing her legal options. That might mean petitioning to remove her name from any lingering LLC paperwork or go in scorched earth. Either way, the damage is spreading because Robyn's silence? It's not just damning, it's contagious and dangerous. Her decision to leave the site running, whether careless or calculated, has turned what was once a charming family hustle into a ticking bomb, and the fuse. It's burning fast. If Christine and Janelle speak out, we might witness the ugliest family implosion since the original Sisterwife's collapse, and Cody? Don't think he's just collateral damage. His fingerprints might be on more than just the emotional wreckage. For weeks, all eyes have been locked on Robyn, her website, her responsibility, her refusal to speak. But in true Brown family fashion, Cody's been lurking just out of focus. That's starting to change. Because now fans and some eagle-eyed financial watchdogs are circling back to the man who once called My Sisterwife's closet a family investment. And when you zoom in, you start to see the outline of Cody's involvement. Not just emotionally but on paper. Let's rewind the tape. Back in 2012, when the boutique was launched, Cody was front and center. He wasn't just tolerating it, he was championing it. Talking logistics, praising unity, even calling it the Browns' future. It raised eyebrows at the time. Cody, jewelry, really? But he was vocal, involved. Some fans remember season 5 vividly. Cody sketching out strategy with Robyn, talking warehouse space, and fussing over domain names like a man on a mission. That wasn't passive support, that was co-piloting. Which raises the question, did Cody ever really let go? According to public databases, My Sisterwife's closet is tied to an old LLC that once listed several Brown family members as managers. It's dormant now, at least on paper, but dormant doesn't mean erased. If any of their names are still linked to tax forms or active merchant accounts, things could spiral fast, especially if angry customers start filing chargebacks or launching fraud claims. One blogger known for exposing reality star side hustles says she found documentation showing Cody had signing rights on the LLC's original bank account. Another source dug up a throwaway comment Cody made on an old podcast, joking that they'd keep the store open during slow filming seasons. Was he being serious? Or just tossing around bravado like always? Either way, fans aren't laughing anymore. They want to know who's collecting payments today, who owns the merchant backend, and why hasn't anyone pulled the plug? Financial influencers have begun to weigh in. They're warning, if anyone with their name on that paperwork is earning passive income from unfulfilled orders, they're playing with fire. Even if Robyn runs the site solo, if Cody's still cashing in, or worse, filing joint tax returns tied to the store, he's not the innocent bystander he's pretending to be. And let's not forget, the Browns have a history. Blurred financial lines, shared credit cards, and LLCs that crossed household boundaries. If this jewelry scandal kicks up that dust again, Robyn won't be the only one answering hard questions. This could explode into a full-blown legal war within the family, and just when you thought the stakes couldn't climb any higher, guess what? Fans are done waiting. They're moving beyond Reddit threads and screen grabs. The complaints aren't just digital anymore. Because when testimonials didn't scare the Browns straight, fans brought in the professionals. Screenshots were one thing. Gut-wrenching posts about money lost, emails unanswered, and promises broken were bad enough. But now, watchdogs are involved. Financial accountability groups, consumer protection reporters, people with reach, leverage, and legal weight. The online outrage has evolved, and it's coming for real answers. But it's not really a joke. This is reputation-level fallout, contract-level damage. Because Robyn may be scrolling past the backlash, smiling through filtered family photos, but silence is no longer clever, it's calculated, and that calculation may backfire, especially now that the customers she ignored have found each other. They're loud, they're hurt, they're organized. So the question hangs in the air, will Robyn break her silence and face the fallout? Or is she quietly sweeping the mess under the rug, praying fans forget before season 19 rolls in? Because something shifted, and fans caught it barely. In a blink, the My Sisterwife's Closet website changed. One moment it was live, cart operational, checkout accepting orders. The next, a barren white page appeared with a vague message, "We're updating our inventory. Please check back soon." No apology, no notice, no contact, just a sterile placeholder. Right as the backlash reached fever pitch, the site suddenly shut down naturally. The internet went digging. On Reddit, a thread exploded after a user claiming to be a former web developer for the store dropped a bombshell. They said they were contacted and panic ordered to disable purchases immediately, allegedly. The request came from Robyn or someone acting for her, but not when the first complaint hit, not when the BBB warnings mounted, not when the FTC was tagged. It only happened, this developer claims, after banks began processing refund demands. His words, Now screenshot and reposted dozens of times. It wasn't proactive, it was reactive. They realized they were exposed, and that's what's got fans boiling, because shutting down the site isn't the issue. Doing it after taking people's money? That's a problem. Especially when some fans have literal proof they placed orders just hours before the plug was pulled. One even shared a time-stamped receipt dated 2 days before the site disappeared. Her message: "They didn't refund me, they just locked the doors." This sudden blackout doesn't read like accountability, it reeks of strategy, legal damage control. And the theory now circulating is that this move wasn't about helping customers, it was about shielding Robyn. If she truly cared, fans argue, she would have paused the store when complaints first surfaced, issued refunds, released a statement. Anything. Instead, radio silence. Now, speculation is swirling. Will Robyn claim a technical glitch? Blame it all on back-end errors or a vague fulfillment miscommunication? Some believe a soft rebrand is coming, that the site will return in a few months, polished and repackaged, that the angry reviews will vanish, the receipts forgotten, a fresh layer of filters slapped over the mess, as if none of it ever happened. But here's the problem: screenshots don't forget, bank records don't disappear, TikToks don't unviral, and the fans she once charmed? They're watching, and this time, they're not buying the act. Let's be clear, this shutdown didn't happen in a vacuum, it came at the exact moment fans we're starting to connect the dots. Robyn, the LLC, Cody's alleged behind-the-scenes role. And now the million-dollar question is hanging heavy in the air: was this a panic move, triggered by online backlash, or was it a calculated decision made under legal pressure? Because flipping the lights off doesn't delete the receipts. It just confirms what so many have already been saying. They knew, they processed the payments, they saw the order logs, and once the heat got to real, they disappeared without a word, no warning, no closure. Just an under-maintenance message masking a mess that refuses to stay hidden. And with the website now in full blackout mode and furious fans shouting for answers, the silence is speaking volumes. The real fallout isn't happening in the Brown household, it's happening among the people they betrayed. The people who bought in, who believed, who handed over their hard-earned money not for a trinket but for what that trinket represented: honesty, meaning, belonging. A charm, a bracelet, a symbol. That's what it was supposed to be, but what they got instead was ghosted. Robyn built her imagine this business in the promise of unity, sisterhood, and spiritual family values, but now she stands at the center of what many are calling the deepest betrayal in Sisterwife's history. And as the layers are peeled back, it's clear this wasn't some one-off mistake or shipping delay. It was a system, a mindset, a quiet belief that no one would notice, that loyal fans wouldn't question, that silence would pass for sincerity. But they were wrong. Military wives, elderly women, lifelong supporters of the show. These were the people allegedly taken advantage of, people who didn't just buy jewelry, they bought trust, and Robyn, by staying silent, shattered that trust into pieces. No apology, no refund, not even a generic PR response, just curated selfies, TikTok filters, and a site pretending to be under repair when everyone knows it's just shut down in shame. And now the anger is rising. Disappointment is hardening into outrage. Christine, she's already long gone, calling out the dysfunction for what it is. Janelle? She's drawing financial boundaries like never before. Mary? She's gone full rebrand mode, crafting a new identity, miles away from this mess. But Robyn, she's not just alone. She's isolated, cut off, not just from the spiritual unity she used to claim, but from public trust. The few fans who used to defend her as the calm one, they've switched sides. They're the ones now calling her out as the coldest of them all. And if Robyn thought this would blow over, she misjudged her audience. These aren't casual viewers, they're invested, they've supported for years. And now that they've been burned, they're refusing to stay quiet. Legal experts are circling, consumer watchdogs are being alerted, and those who made purchases are exploring their options. Because the Browns may finally be facing what they've skillfully dodged for over a decade: real consequences. TLC, always nervous about brand optics, is reportedly debating how much of this will make it to air. But fans aren't asking anymore. They're demanding. They don't want spin, they want facts, they want accountability. And strangely enough, this whole disaster may become a turning point, not just for Robyn, but for every last Brown. Because this isn't just about jewelry, it's about what happens when a family brand forgets who helped build it. When the people behind the curtain stop seeing their supporters as a community and start seeing them as a revenue stream. So now, it's your turn. Does Robyn's radio silence speak volumes about guilt? Could she salvage this by facing the storm head on with refunds and public apologies? And what about TikTok? They owe the viewers a real conversation on air. Or has the damage been done? Is it already too late to salvage what little is left of the Brown family's reputation? Drop your thoughts below, like, subscribe, and keep your eyes peeled because this scandal isn't cooling down. It's about to explode. And trust us, you'll want to be here when it does. The backlash is no longer just whispers on fan forums, it's formal now. Fed-up buyers are filing complaints loud, clear, and documented. According to several online threads, the Better Business Bureau has already logged multiple grievances tied directly to my sister wife's closet. Word is, the business holds an F rating. And if the rumors are true, that might just be scratching the surface. Consumer advocacy groups are circling. A popular YouTube content creator who reviews reality TV merchandise recently revealed she filed a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission on behalf of a viewer. This wasn't a casual gripe. She read the full buyer testimony on air. A woman who paid in full, never received her order, and was ghosted entirely. Months of silence, no updates, no refunds, no product, just a growing pile of resentment and now receipts. And she's not alone. TikTok users have started uploading their own proof, emails, order confirmations, bank statements, all pointing to the same pattern: payments accepted, products never shipped. Some are tagging their videos with fraud alert. Others are directly naming Robyn Brown, demanding she take accountability, but her silence is only fueling the fire. Legal analysts have begun to weigh in too. The consensus? This isn't just bad business etiquette, it might actually be illegal. Continuing to accept payment without fulfilling orders, especially when inventory is known to be non-existent, can fall under deceptive trade practices. One business law expert even noted that depending on the state where the LLC is registered, civil penalties could be severe. And if Robyn or anyone else knowingly let payments go through while the shelves were empty, it could get worse. This isn't just a messy customer service saga anymore. It's spiraling into dangerous legal territory. Some angry customers have turned to their banks. Chargebacks are now being filed left and right. While most financial institutions limit chargeback windows to 60 or 90 days, several users claim that banks are making exceptions due to the volume of complaints tied to this specific store. One Reddit user said their dispute was resolved within 24 hours after submitting screenshots of a purchase confirmation with zero tracking updates. Another alleged that their card company had flagged the merchant for suspicious activity tied to fulfillment failures. And then there's the class action whisper, unconfirmed, but spreading fast. Several posters claim a small but growing group of impacted buyers has already contacted a consumer protection attorney. Whether it gains traction depends on how many people sign on and how long Robyn keeps her mouth shut. Because silence, it's no longer a shield. Every day she stays quiet, the list of evidence grows longer. Every unshipped order, every ignored email, every cached copy of the still live site. It's all potential proof. And if the rumors are true about manual payment overrides and knowingly advertising out of stock pieces, then Robyn isn't just facing bad PR. She's standing on the edge of a financial cliff, but you wouldn't know it from looking at her public life. Robyn's Instagram paints a very different picture. There, she's smiling, glowing, pretending everything is fine, matching flannel shots with Cody, throwback photos of happier days, a reposted Sisterwives meme that struck a nerve for fans watching closely. But not a single word, nothing about my sister wife's closet. No vague statements, no apologies, no acknowledgement of the storm brewing around her. Just warm filters and cozy captions, as if she's starring in a holiday special, not a scandal. And fans, they've noticed, must be nice to smile while you rob people blind. One woman wrote under a recent photo, another demanded, "Where's my order, Robyn?" It's been 5 months, her comment sections have turned into battlegrounds. Nothing about the photo matters anymore. Every comment is about the orders, the silence, the fraud. And Robyn, she's either turning off replies or leaving them unanswered. The digital silence? It's deafening, and worse, it's making things escalate. Because this isn't a woman caught off guard. This is someone who built a public image around vulnerability, around emotional openness, around tears and honesty. She cried when the jewelry line launched. She beamed on air about how much it meant to her, and now, when it really matters, she's vanished behind a filter. She cried when Cody was overwhelmed. She sobbed through nearly every family feud, camera catching every quiver of her voice. But now, when real women, mothers, daughters, fans who trusted her are pleading for answers, not a tear, not a word, and the internet has noticed. Influencers are calling it Robyn's PR unraveling, unfolding in real time. One TikTok creator, who's gained a devoted following dissecting sister wives' chaos, dubbed this mess the grift of the decade. Her accusation that Robyn weaponized her innocent, tear-streaked image to sell dreams and delivered nothing but broken promises. Another posted a viral comparison video, Robyn glowing on TLC. explaining the deep meaning behind her jewelry, followed by a lifeless shipping page showing nothing. The caption cut deep, "Guess this charm's called disappointment." But the real tremor? It came from behind the curtain. A so-called production assistant leaked that TLC is on high alert. And whether or not the source is real, the theory has legs, according to this rapidly spreading tip. Network executives are extremely concerned that this scandalous unpaid order, F-rated, ghosted customer avalanche might taint future episodes. TLC, already juggling backlash from other reality TV debacles, isn't eager to dive into another reputational fire. The leak suggests they're questioning whether to continue filming Robyn in her usual light. Loving mom, devoted wife, aspiring entrepreneur. Because now, the receipts tell a different story. One fan even joked that the next season might need a disclaimer: all jewelry scenes were filmed before the incident.